There is this specific kind of pain that comes from feeling completely and totally unheard. It's a universal sting, right? Well, today we're going to dive into why that happens and, way more importantly, how to fix it, using some surprisingly deep insights from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. So let's get into it. Oh, we have all been there. That exact moment. You're sharing something important, something real, and you look over and, yep, they're scrolling. It's not just rude, it feels like a complete and total invalidation of your very existence in that moment. Or how about this one, that frustrating feeling of just being invisible? You offer an idea, you share a vulnerable thought, and it just poof, evaporates. The conversation just rolls on like you never even spoke. It really makes you start to wonder if you're even there. Now, the easy thing to do is to blame the other person, right? We think, oh, they're distracted, or they're shallow, or they just don't care. Or we blame ourselves. We think we're boring, or we're not speaking clearly enough. But what if the real reason is something much, much deeper and way more subtle? And this right here, this is the core of what we're exploring today. This is not about learning some new charisma trick or, some power posing technique. It's about a fundamental shift in your internal state. A shift that makes your words actually land with weight, no matter how you phrase them. So the first step is to really understand what's going on under the surface. It's not about the words you're choosing. It's about this invisible message that you're broadcasting along with them. And here it is, the critical disconnect. You think you're communicating with your logic, your well-thought-out opinions, your authentic self. But what the other person is feeling is something totally different. They're responding to the energy behind your words, that unspoken need for validation, that quiet ache to be seen. Nietzsche actually had a word for this, ressentiment. Think of it as that unprocessed hurt, that feeling of powerlessness that just kind of curdles inside of you. And when you speak from that place, your words are basically tainted with this fractured energy. People don't consciously know why, but they just instinctively pull away. It's a vibe they want to get away from. Now, to see how this plays out in real life, let's look at a story. It perfectly illustrates this whole paradox of need. So, meet Daniel. On paper, this guy is brilliant. He's introspective, he's got these incredibly deep thoughts, he's not shallow, he's not boring. By all accounts, people should want to listen to this guy. But they don't. And Daniel tries everything. He gets more passionate, he tries to explain things more clearly, but the harder he tries, the worse it gets. And here's why. His words aren't just words anymore. They've become a bid for love. He's using his insights to basically say, please see me, please validate that I'm smart. And that makes the listener feel totally trapped, like a hostage. Eventually, he just hits a wall. He gives up. He's tired of trying so hard. He stops performing for an audience that isn't listening, and he just surrenders to the silence. He lets go of needing to be understood. And that's when the most incredible thing happens. The neediness is gone. His energy becomes calm and clean and self-contained. He's no longer begging for attention. And paradoxically, that is the very thing that earns it. His presence alone becomes magnetic. So how do we get there? How do we actually do what Daniel did? His story shows us the way. And the path isn't through learning more things to say, it's about letting go. This whole path is about subtraction, not addition. So first you stop performing. Let go of that need for approval that turns your words into a script. Second, you gotta embrace silence. Become okay with not being understood right away. Don't rush to fill every single void. Third, speak your truth. Say what is actually true for you, not what you think other people want to hear. And finally, the hardest step of all, let go of the outcome. Free your words from needing a specific reaction. Just speak them and let them land where they may. That freedom is what creates true presence. Look, this is not easy. It's been described as an ego funeral. It means letting go of that part of yourself that just survives on little scraps of external approval. And yeah, it's a painful death, but what's born from it is real, unshakable power. And what you're aiming for here isn't applause. It's something so much deeper. It's about becoming what we call an anchored voice. Let's just look at this transformation. It's a total shift. You go from speaking from a place of ache to a place of alignment. You stop broadcasting need and you become self-sourced. You stop chasing audiences and you start to attract real listeners. You're no longer hunting for validation. Your very presence starts to command resonance. Think about someone like Mira. She's empathetic, articulate, but every time she shared her truth, people just looked confused. So instead of trying harder to please them, she turned inward. She chose solitude and clarity over just being accepted. And as a result, she started to speak less, but her words began to land with immense gravity. So this is it. This is the crucial point, the kind of cruel irony of communication. Your desperate effort to be heard is the very thing that's stopping it from happening. When you finally let go of that effort, your presence fills the space your need once occupied, and people can finally truly feel you. And that's the question I want to leave you with. When you speak, what's the source? Is it a calm, internal alignment with your own truth? Or is it that familiar ache of just wanting to be seen, maybe wanting to be rescued? So maybe you're not insane or wrong for feeling unheard. Maybe you're just dancing to a music that others haven't learned how to listen to yet. The solution isn't to stop dancing. It's to become so anchored in your own rhythm that eventually the right people can't help but hear the music too.